It's time for my Bad Batch Season 3 predictions. Let's jump right into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Christopher, and with the third and final season of the Bad Batch coming in only 3 short days, the 3-episode premiere of the Bad Batch coming on Wednesday, February 21st, I wanted to do a video mentioning some of my predictions for this season, so let's get right into it. So first I want to mention some reunions that I think might happen in this third and final season of the Bad Batch. So back in the second season, we got, I think it was 1, maybe 2 episodes with Commander Cody in it, and he was talking to Crosshair, and they went on a mission. So I think because we saw Cody in the second season, I think that we're gonna get a reunion between Rex and Cody, as Rex and the remaining members of the Bad Batch go and try and find other clones and try and pull their inhibitor chips and try and bring them back to the good side and fight against the Empire. So I think we're eventually going to see a reunion between Cody and Rex, which we haven't seen Rex and Cody since the Clone Wars, so this will be really, really exciting. Another reunion that I think is going to happen in the Bad Batch Season 3 is the reunion of Captain Rex, Commander Wolffe, and Commander Gregor. So if you've seen Star Wars Rebels, we know that Wolffe, Gregor, and Rex are all found on the planet Selos by Ezra and Kanan. So eventually they have to meet up and get together, and the Bad Batch Season 3 seems like the most logical place to have that reunion happen, and then they could also all take part in this fight against the Empire before they end up retiring on Selos before Star Wars Rebels. So it just makes sense to me that they would show up in this last season of the Bad Batch. So moving on to the topic of Omega and Crosshair. So at the end of Bad Batch Season 2, we saw Omega and Crosshair. They were both left behind on Mount Tantiss. Omega just being captured by the Imperials, and Crosshair, who was captured earlier in the second season. So I think that Omega and Crosshair will join forces. They will figure out a way to work together and escape Mount Tantiss and meet up with the rest of the Bad Batch, rest of Clone Force 99, minus Tech, of course, because we saw Tech fall to his death at the end of Season 2 of the Bad Batch. But I think that Omega and Crosshair will eventually get off of Mount Tantiss. I think it'll happen earlier in the season, so maybe like the second or third episode, no later than the 4th episode, I think. So that is what I think is going to happen with Omega and Crosshair. So next I want to talk about which characters I think are going to make it and not make it by the end of the season, by the end of Season 3 of the Bad Batch. So by the end of Season 3 of the Bad Batch, I don't think any of the members of the Bad Batch, Clone Force 99, are going to make it out, except Omega. I think Omega will make it out by the end of Season 3, but the rest of the members, we already lost Tech, and Tech, I do believe, is gone for good. I do think that the Imperials will find his body and use his body for testing using Tech's DNA, because he is highly intelligent. They could use it for future cloning experiments and making super soldiers, maybe dark troopers or some sort of clones, whatever. So I definitely think the Imperials, the Empire, are going to use Tech's body, but Tech is gone for good. But I also think by the end of the season, we're going to see Wrecker, we're going to see Hunter, Crosshair, and Echo. They're all going to be gone by the end of Season 3. I think it's going to be very much like Rogue One, where none of the heroes make it out alive. And that makes sense to me for them to do with this third and last season of the Bad Batch, where none of our heroes make it out alive, aside from Omega. Omega, I think, will make it, but I think 2 members will die mid-season, so I think those 2 members have to be Echo and Wrecker, unfortunately. I think Hunter will make it to the end, and he may sacrifice himself to get Omega out of some sort of situation. I think Crosshair will be there with Hunter as well. That would be kind of fitting for Crosshair to reunite with the Bad Batch, the rest of Clone Force 99, and then end up helping Hunter get Omega out of some sort of situation, whatever she may be in, whatever predicament she may be in. So I think that's what will happen with the main core group of the Bad Batch of Clone Force 99. As I mentioned, I think Omega will survive all of this. Next, I want to talk about what cameos we could see, what characters we could see pop up in the Bad Batch Season 3. So, we already know that we're getting Cad Bane, we're getting Asajj Ventress, we are getting Fennec Shand again. We saw those 3 characters in the trailer for the Bad Batch Season 3. So, I think that we're going to finally get Boba Fett in the Bad Batch Season 3. We haven't seen him pop up in the Bad Batch yet. We had Cad Bane in the first season. I think Fennec was in the first season as well. So I think it just kind of makes sense that we see them, or we see Boba Fett show up with Cad Bane around, with Fennec around. I think Boba Fett will come at some point. I don't know if he finds out about Omega yet. Maybe he kind of hears about her, but he doesn't actually meet her. But I think Boba Fett will show up. Another character I think will show up will be Darth Vader. That would be an amazing scene. Maybe for the end of the season, the back half of the season, if Vader shows up and wipes out a couple members, or the last 2 remaining members of Clone Force 99. So maybe he wipes out, as I mentioned earlier, Wrecker and Echo earlier in the season, or maybe he wipes out Crosshair and Hunter later in the season. But I think Vader will show up and maybe eliminate a couple of the clones, Clone Force 99. It would be kind of emotional, maybe, because Vader, when he was Anakin, he did go on a couple missions with the Bad Batch, with Clone Force 99 before Order 66. So I don't know, it would be a nice way to tie all that stuff together. Another person I think might show up, because we did get the reveal of Asajj Ventress. I think we're going to get Quinlan Vos in this series. Maybe he comes with Asajj, because we saw Asajj with a yellow lightsaber, so she must be already turned. It'd be a nice way to tie in the series, the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch, and tie it in with the Dark Disciple novel. If you haven't read it, spoiler alert, sorry about that, but Asajj does die in Dark Disciple, so it'd be a nice way to tie those together. Another character I think we're going to see, and this one might be going out on a limb, it's probably not going to happen, it's more me hoping this character will show up, but I think Darth Maul will show up in the Bad Batch Season 3, the final season of the Bad Batch. So I think at some point during the season, whatever remaining members of Clone Force 99 are still alive, they will probably, I think they're going to do some sort of mission, or they're going to be doing missions for other people, just like in the first 2 seasons, they were off doing missions to make money and survive. So I think they're going to come across Crimson Dawn, they're going to come across Darth Maul, who is in charge of Crimson Dawn, and I think they're going to end up doing some sort of mission for him. And I don't know, maybe this is just me hoping and dreaming that this is going to happen, but I'm really thinking this could happen, because it just makes sense. Darth Maul, Crimson Dawn, even Dryden Voss are all around during this time, so I think it would be fantastic for whatever members of Clone Force 99 are still around, if they're off doing a mission and Darth Maul is the one who hired them. That would be freaking amazing. But those are my predictions for the Bad Batch Season 3. Let me know what you think of my predictions, and tell me some of your predictions down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then click to watch one of my other reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.